Hi everyone, and welcome to another session about the Fulbright Foreign Student Program. So my name is Tahar Kampoum, and I'm the Exchange Program Manager. And I'm pleased today to have with me Amira, who's the Education USA Advisor for Libya. And as we promised, today we're going to talk about plagiarism. This is a very important topic, and hopefully this session will help you understand what is plagiarism and how to avoid it in order to have a good application for the Fulbright and not get disqualified of plagiarism. So prior to start talking about plagiarism, I would like to talk a little bit about the Fulbright Foreign Student Program, just refresh your mind about what is this program and who can apply, what are the eligibility requirements. So the Fulbright Foreign Student Program is an opportunity for Libyan students and professionals who are interested to pursue a master's degree for up to 2 years in the United States. So this is a US State Department program and administered by Amides with the help of the US Embassy to Libya. And we are now recruiting for the program. The application is live. The deadline is May 1st. Of course, this opportunity is open for everyone who meets the requirements. So the program comes with benefits. It's not only going to the United States to study and get a degree, but you'll be also gaining other things. For instance, you'll be experiencing life in the US, the American culture, but also you'll be helping Americans learning about the Libyan culture and tradition. This is a very good aspect about the program. You will be also joining a lifelong alumni network of global leaders. You will be engaging in cultural and professional enrichment activities. You'll be working on your English. You'll be, of course, obtaining a diploma, but also work on other skills. You will take part of community service activities, and hopefully you'll be participating in other opportunities that help you on the professional level. And so many other things that you will be gaining and learning throughout this experience. So I would like to mention that this is a fully funded opportunity. And as you can see on this slide, we pretty much cover all the expenses linked or related to this program, including the tuition fees, the monthly allowance, the equipment allowance, conference and thesis, health coverage, of course, international travels to the US and from the US to Libya, back to Libya. We also cover the visa fees and any other expenses related to testing as well. And this is, as I said, a long-term program. That's why it is possible that you bring dependents with you, meaning your husband or wife or kids, but you just need to make sure that you understand that the program does not cover any expenses related to dependents, and you need to show proof that you will be able to support your family and able to take them with you to the US. So this is quickly benefits. Very important thing to talk about is who can apply for this program. So basically, any Libyan citizen who's resident of Libya, who has a minimum of a bachelor degree can apply for the program. We want to see that you have good academic records, and that's why it's a requirement to submit your transcripts, all of them, and diploma. We would love to see that you have work experience in the field that you are applying for. It's preferred that you have at least 1 year. And if you are applying for an MBA, you must have 2 years of work experience. That's a minimum for the MBA. And of course, if you have a dual citizenship, you can apply unless you are an American. You cannot apply for this program. So as I said, today's session is pretty much about plagiarism. We're going to talk deep in this matter because unfortunately we do have students who have good profiles and they apply for this program. We really like them on paper, but unfortunately when we run their application through the plagiarism checker, unfortunately they get disqualified, and we don't want that to happen. That's why we're having this session. So please pay attention to Amira's presentation. I encourage you to type your questions and we will be able to answer them at the end of the session. So as you can see here, this is like a screenshot of from actually the platform. If you started your application, you will know that this is part of the application that you'll be working on for the Fulbright. This is a plagiarism agreement that you need to read and then click yes, I read and approve to make sure that you understand plagiarism and what can cause plagiarism. Because basically, if your application is being plagiarized, we will not consider it. You will be disqualified from this program. We have really zero tolerance for plagiarism. Plagiarism هو السرقة الأدبية, and I'll give the floor to Amira to talk more about it. We will be using some terms in Arabic to make it clear to everyone attending and anyone who's going to watch this video afterwards to understand the word plagiarism, سرقة أدبية, and how to avoid it. كيف يمكنك أن تتجنب السرقة الأدبية and have a good application. So the floor is yours, Amira, and we can start talking about plagiarism.
Thank you so much, Sahar, for the beautiful introduction about the Fulbright program, and thank you for emphasizing the importance of the plagiarism. Again, هي السرقة الأدبية. So this is Amira. I am the Education USA advisor for Libya, and I'm very happy today to be with you, Sahar, again on this very interesting session. So today we'll see together the overview of plagiarism. We'll see some examples. We'll practice a quiz. So I made sure to make an interactive presentation. And again, this is just a reminder for the ones who are following us on the Facebook page. You can go back to the session and you can rewatch it and you can, practice and share it with your friends or with the ones who are interested in applying for the Fulbright. Okay, so let's start with the term of plagiarism, or let's start with the overview of plagiarism. So as Sahar said, I'm going to use Arabic and English just to make sure that the content is clear. So to plagiarize, okay, so to plagiarize is to include someone else writing information or idea in a paper, like the essay, and fail to acknowledge what you took from that person by indicating whose work it is. يعني لما تسرق الفكرة تاع أي شخص يعني على الإنترنت ولا من البوك ولا من أي شيء وتنسبه لك أنت في الإساي متاعك, this is what we call plagiarism. So in other words, it is not given credit where credit is due. So plagiarism is both a moral and ethical offense, and sometimes a legal one. Okay, so that's why Sahat said like it is very important to avoid it. So as you can see here, I tried to introduce the term of plagiarism from this slide. So to steal and pass off the ideas or words of another person, it is plagiarism. To use another's production without crediting the source, يعني من غير ما تحط الsource متاع الشخص هذا, this is plagiarism. To commit literacy, like theft, of course, like stealing someone's words, this is plagiarism. And to present, as a new and original an idea or a product derived from an existing source. So it's like you're using it as if it is yours without adding the source. Okay. So Sahar, do you want to say something, because I think that you unmuted yourself?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, we can say that plagiarism is a crime. And like I said, we have zero tolerance for it. And unfortunately, in the previous years, we had students who got disqualified due to this. And that's why we really want to make it very clear to students today from this session that you really need to work hard and avoid plagiarism. And I'm sure Amira will give you tips and will help you to know how to check your essays and to make sure that, you're not going to be accused of plagiarism and not getting disqualified because of this.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. And even like, if you want to study in the US in general, plagiarism is taken really into consideration. حتى في الجامعات في أمريكا, and the students يتعلموا أصلا يعني they take some classes في ال subject متاع plagiarism وغيره. So yeah, it is something really serious, and it's a great opportunity إنكم يعني تكتشفوا أكثر وتاخذوا أكثر معلومات على plagiarism today. So like the examples of the plagiarism, they can include, as I said, copying and another person's actual words without the use of quotation marks and the source citation or footnotes, and we'll go over them together later. أصلاً حتى presenting another person's ideas or theories in your own words without citing the source, هذا يتسمى plagiarism. And I will share with you later 10 أنواع متاع plagiarism. وحتى using the information that is not like common knowledge without citing the source, this is also known as a plagiarism. Now, هذم أنواع متاع plagiarism after starting with the introduction. So the clone, for example, submitting another's work word by word as one's own. يعني إذا تنسب كما نقولوا الكلام تاع شخص آخر كلمة بالكلمة لك أنت, this is what we call plagiarism. وهذا النوع متاعه clone. فما find or replace يعني تغير ال keywords وال phrases but retaining the essential content of the source. لأنه this is confusing. Some people are like, well, I took the idea and I paraphrased it, but it's still plagiarism. So if you took someone else's idea without adding the source, this is, again, it is plagiarism. Recycling, borrowing generously from one's previous work without citation, and we'll see citation later, it's plagiarism. Mashup, يعني mix copied material from multiple sources, again plagiarism. Aggregator, يعني including proper citation for sources but containing almost no original work, يعني تاخذ كل شيء من غير حتى تخلي كما نقولوا النقطة متاعك في الwork متاعك. It is aggregator. So of course copying, so containing significant portions of text from a single source without alterations من غير تعديلات, it is plagiarism. The remix, يعني mixing paraphrased material, يعني شخص آخر عمل paraphrase and you're mixing that وتنسبه لك أنت from different sources, it's plagiarism. الهايبريد يعني combining perfectly cited sources with copied passages without citation, it's plagiarism. So 404 error يعني citing non-existing sources يحكوا على information معينة, it's plagiarism. And the retweet يعني including proper citation but relying too closely on the text's original wording, it's a plagiarism as well. Okay, so here this summarizes a little bit what you should cite and what you should not cite when you are writing your essay. And let me go quickly and use this friendly spotlight. Okay, so when you are working on your essay, and let's say when you are taking some, information or ideas from different sources, when are you going? When let's say when are you supposed to, cite or just include in the essay that you're using someone's words, and when you're not supposed to do that? So you have to ask yourself: is the information data or opinion your own idea? So if it's a yes, have you published the info before? Have you published this info? If it's a no, don't need to cite it. يعني هوني عبارة أنت تحكي على الانفورميشن متاعك, على الidea متاعك. But if you published these info before, here is, you have to ask yourself, is the info common knowledge? يعني أنت تحكي على facts معينة. So if it's common knowledge, you don't need to cite it. But if it's no, here's another question that you need to ask yourself. So are you copying the source exactly, putting in like in your words sentence by sentence, or reporting a lot of info in a few lines? So if you're copying exactly, cite as a quotation. Okay, so here you need to cite if you're copying someone's words, someone's idea. Now, if you're using your own words line by line, cite as a paraphrase, okay? So see, we will check how to do that later. And if you're using your own words, reporting a lot of info in few lines, cite as a summary, okay? So this is, again, just a summary on how to, just to make sure if you are supposed to cite an info or not to cite an info, okay? Okay, so let's start with the first example, which is the footnote. And let me just make sure that I'm not using the spotlight. All right, done. Okay, so this is just, again, an example, but there are many, many, many other examples that you can use when you are, citing a source. But I would like to start with the footnote, which is a number in a superscript format placed in the text of the essay, and it indicates the relevant footnote. So citations are numbered in the order in which they appear in the text, and each citation corresponds to a numbered footnote containing publication information about the source cited, okay? So as you can see here in the examples, this is a footnote. Again, it's like this is a footnote, and several, let's say, recent studies. Again, number 3, this is another footnote. And for example, I mean, you add number 4, it's another footnote, and then you just have to add them in the Word doc, and I will share with you how to do that. So this is just like an example of a footnote in a paragraph. So for example, breaker has been described, so you want to use this from a source, a hard-fisted bushman, a versifier, a brilliant horseman, social success, brave soldier, and a restless adversary, okay? And then you add a footnote. So when you add the footnote here, you can add the link at the end of the page, and we'll go that together, or you can add the source that you from where you took all of these information. Okay, so talking about the source, authors' names are presented in full if no, when given name or initials before the surname. The title and the subtitle are capitalized. The publication details for a book are enclosed in parentheses. The commas are used to separate the main elements of the citation. And the titles of books and journals are italicized if typed, okay? So just like in this example. And now let's go quickly to a Word doc, and I will show you how to add a footnote. So, for example, I'm, writing about someone's experience from the Fulbright program. Okay, so I took this paragraph from the internet. Okay, it's from an article. So here, let's say I simply want to share the link from where I got this paragraph. Okay, so I go here. Let me just go quickly to the link. All right, copy. All right, so I go to references. Okay. Oops. There you go. So here it's an endnote or a footnote, and I copy paste, the link from where I got this paragraph. So as you can see, here's the endnote or the footnote. And this is the source from where you got this paragraph. So here, you're not plagiarizing because you added the source of the content that you added to your essay. This is just one example, okay? Now let's go quickly and see another example, which is the in-text citation. Okay, so what is this and how we use it? So the in-text citation is the brief form of the reference that you include in the body of your work. It gives enough information to uniquely identify the source in your reference list. So the brief, form usually consists of family name of the authors, and just like in this example, and the page number as well. As you can see here, and I'll show you how to do that automatically through the Word doc. And for sources like such as websites and ebooks that have no page numbers, you can use a paragraph number. Okay, like example, you took the information from paragraph 1, and of course you have the year and you have the last name of the person. This is an example. So I want to get this, let's say, short sentence from this specific source. So you can add it according to John's, and you add the year 1998, and then you just add the source that you took from John's book, okay? Or you can simply add the bibliography of the content that you are taking from someone else's work. And again, I'm gonna take you to the Word doc that we are practicing in, and let's see together how to add that. Okay. So my news source here is this article. So I'm taking some information from this article, which is about, tips for international STEM students, just a second, in the United States. Okay, so Sahara, I don't know if you can see my Word doc or the website here. Do you only see the Word doc?
Yes, we can see that.
Oh, and the website as well?
I can see the link.
Okay, not the website, but no problem. Okay, so I think that I have to reshare my screen to show the website, but that's not a problem. I'm gonna take a paragraph from a website, And that's the link of the website, okay? The link that you have there. Okay, so one of the sentences, let's say that impressed me and I want to add it to my work says, there you go. International students studying STEM degrees can get hands-on experience while in school after they graduate, okay? And this is the source from where I got this sentence, okay? So now I want to add the reference. I go to insert citation here and I add a new source, okay? So I have to add the name of the author. So if I go back to the article, I have the name of the author. In the, as you can see, the website, it's called US News, and it's Anayat Durrani, just an example, okay? So I click here, Anayat. And then I have to add the name of the web page. So the name of the web page or the name of the article that I'm taking the information from, it's called Tips for International STEM Students in the United States. Okay, so I just add it here. And then the name of the website you already have, so it's called US News. And then the year, it's 2021, the year of the article. The month, it's December. The day, it's 30th. And then I click OK. All right, so this is how it works automatically, okay? So this is how to cite an automatic, reference from the Word doc, as simple as that, okay? So, but if you want to type it yourself, you can do it yourself. All right, let's go back now quickly to the presentation. Okay, and let's practice a little bit. So here, I chose like a source text and a student work from that source text. So I just want to give you 1 minute to read the source text and the student work quickly, and then you can type in the chat or in the comment box if the student plagiarized or not, okay? And if the student plagiarized, how's that in 1 minute? All right. So what mistakes do you see in the student's writing? So you should notice that the first sentence in the student writing is the student's own idea. We agree on that. And it's not plagiarized. Now, the second sentence is plagiarized because the words are more complex and expensive than vaccines that preceded them are exactly the same as those in the original source, and they don't have quotation marks or a source listed. Also, the third sentence is plagiarized because the sentence are combinations of 10, or 12 individual vaccines are, and take nearly a year to develop one batch. It's almost the same as the original one. So also the source is not listed. And finally, the fourth sentence is also plagiarized because it only changed a few words and is basically copied from the original source without giving credit to the source again. So here, this is a plagiarized paragraph, okay? Another example. 1 minute. Okay. So in example number 2, the student does not plagiarize because he or she uses her or his own words, except when he or she quotes directly. So when the student borrows words from another source, they put quotation marks around them and cites the author's name, okay? And yeah, so if you do like something similar in your paragraphs, this is not considered as plagiarism. And let's wrap it up with this interactive quiz. So here we're going to check the questions together. And of course, you can see the answers, but I will explain more. So number 1, common knowledge, composed of facts that can be found in a variety of sources in which many people know, does not need to be cited. So the answer here is true. So what are the examples of the common knowledge? So example, the Earth is round, okay? That's common knowledge. The Earth is a third, let's say, planet from the sun. The French word for the English word, training is formation, okay? Just an example. So these are what we call common knowledge, that people know them, or what we call them facts, okay? And then if I change a few words within a section of source text and then use that in my paper, then I am paraphrasing and not plagiarizing. Actually, it's false, okay? So why is that? You also need to cite the original that you are using. So further, even if you cite it, changing a few insignificant words or changing the word or sentence order can still be plagiarism. So if you want to use a passage, let's say verbatim, that is word for word, in order to express each idea in it, then quote and cite it. Next one, I didn't plagiarize. My paper has quotes all throughout the paper, almost sentence for sentence. So true, you didn't plagiarize, but you demonstrated by your paper that your style and your method of argument are immature, okay? And you also showed that you haven't spent the time and effort in thinking through the materials that were your sources, okay? So here it reflects like a very negative point. Number 4, I had my paper translated into English and have handed that in with just my name. Is that okay? So here it is false, okay? So if the work is not yours, you must acknowledge it. It may or may not count as plagiarism depending on the context, but it most likely will be considered not being what we call it academically honest, okay? So if it is a translation of your work by someone else, then that person must be acknowledged. You have to state that. And the last one here, I am copying my own previously written original work without referencing it. Will it be considered as plagiarism? Okay, so here the answer is yes. This act is called self-plagiarism. So the idea is you must share all the resources you are using to develop your current project. So you must cite your personal paper with the proper guidelines, okay? Even if it is your own, work, or if it's your own words. And that's it with the content of today's session. So I just like to finish with a small introduction about our network, Education USA. So who are we and how can we help you? So Education USA is the US Department of State network. We are the official source for students around the world who are interested in pursuing their undergraduate or graduate studies in the United States. And we are located in more than 170 countries and territories. And I am the Education USA advisor for Libya. So we offer students free information about all accredited universities in the United States. And we help you, with different things. So number 1, we offer free public info sessions on our social media platforms where we can talk about different topics related to studying in the United States. We also have some sessions with university representatives, and we make sure that, we bring different topics each time just to have like a variety of information for students following us. And we also do some sessions with Libyan alumni who studied in the United States, where they can share their experiences with you. And number 3, we offer individual consultations. So if you would like to study in the United States, if you want to apply to the Fulbright program, but you need someone to review your essay, you make sure just to send me an email or text me by WhatsApp, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. So this is the official website of our network. If you'd like to get more details about the 5 steps, or if you want to find different financial aid opportunities, make sure to go to educationusa.state.gov. And just to end it up here, this is my WhatsApp number. Feel free to text me. This is my email address if you want to just send me an email. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, Amira. I hope this session helps students understand what is plagiarism and how to avoid it, because again, and I'll keep saying it, I don't want students to get disqualified because of plagiarism. We do take it very seriously, so please keep in mind that we have zero tolerance for plagiarism. And here I'm referring to the 2 essays that you will be working on. And that's pretty much the study objective and statement of purpose. We already had a session about statement of purpose. So you can go back and watch it at Amidy's Libya Facebook page. We're going to have a session about study objectives. So keep checking our Facebook page and Instagram as well to attend the session. I also want to encourage you to stay tuned for the Q&A session that we will be having very soon on Instagram and Facebook as well for Amidy's Libya. Hopefully during that session, you will be able to ask the questions that you have, anything not clear with the application or the timeline or anything unclear about the program itself. We'll be happy to help you and answer your questions right away. Before we wrap up, I want to talk a little bit about the timeline, remind you of the important dates and our timeline for this recruitment cycle. So as I said, application is live, the deadline is May 1st. You still have time to work on your applications, even if you still did not start your working on it yet, you still have time. So if you were pre-selected, we will invite you for virtual interviews in June and in-person interviews, hopefully in Tunisia in August. And students, if you were pre-selected, you'll be sitting for TOEFL and GRE or GMAT. These are required tests after the selection, and we will be covering the fees for the test and any other expenses related to your travels to Tunisia and accommodation as well. And then after you sit for these exams, you will be applying for universities. We will be helping you throughout the process. You're not on your own. Our office in DC and the team there will be helping, and they will be your visa deal with universities. And of course, we will be finalizing your placements towards April, May. And hopefully you'll be traveling and starting your program for your master's degree in August 2023. And that's why when you apply for this program, make sure that you're applying for the cycle 23-24 and not 22, because if you choose the wrong cycle, we won't see your application. So please pay attention. And I see Amira is pointing to 23-24, just to make sure that you have the correct cycle. Of course, you are always welcome to reach out to us if you have any questions. You can send your emails to libya@amidis.org. You can also check our website, check the Facebook page of Amidis Libya to watch previous sessions or to, mark your calendars for upcoming events. And you are always welcome to email us and ask us about anything unclear. Thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for the upcoming events, and bye-bye. Good luck with your applications.
Thank you, Sahar, and thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you so much, Amira.
Sure. Bye-bye.